STCW is Standards in Training, Certification, and Watchkeeping, and it's an international treaty that regulates all the things that crew should know to be able to go on international voyages. Used in the context of, I need to do my STCW, or I need an STCW refresher, it refers to a series of 4 classes taken over 5 days. The 4 sections include First Aid and CPR, which is exactly what it sounds like, Personal Safety and Social Responsibility, which is about pollution and good communication between crewmates and all that sort of stuff. There's Personal Survival Techniques, which is all about what you should do in the event of emergencies where you would need to get into a life raft and stuff like that. And then there's Basic Fire Training, which is probably the most intensive of the 4. I was lucky that the company that I worked at had enough people that needed to take it that we all got to do it as one big group, so I knew everybody who was in my class. They were also willing to pay for it up front as long as I signed a 6-month contract, which is pretty awesome because it's around $1,000 to take. There were some classroom sections which should have been boring, but we got to take fun breaks like setting off flares out back. We had a pool day where we had to learn exactly how life rafts work, how to deploy them, how to flip them over. We also got in these big things called immersion suits, which are basically designed for if there's really cold water. They're buoyant, temperature resistant, and very brightly colored, so in the event that the ship does go down, if you have a group of people, they're going to be a lot easier to see from like a helicopter or someone trying to do a rescue. We put on life vests, and we talked about how we would muster passengers if they needed to in the event of an emergency. And again, because we were all from the same company, we had the safety plan from the vessel that we worked on, and we could look at exactly how we would implement that. And then there was fire training, which I thought was the coolest part. We got to put on full fire gear. We had all of the equipment, the jacket, the pants, the boots, the gloves, the face mask, the shield, the oxygen tanks. All put together, that equipment weighs about 40 pounds. The fire academy that we went to had a simulation burn building, which was 4 stories. A lot of it was set up to look like apartments. All the fire was propane, and it was very tightly controlled by someone with an actual unit where they could spike up fires nearby where someone was. The smoke was heavy disco fog, which means if something did fail and you had to take your mask off, you wouldn't breathe in smoke. And the trainers were outside the building with a heat gun, so they could actually see where we were, even though it was pitch black inside for us. One of our instructors told us that we probably had more fun as a group than any other he'd seen. And of course, while having fun is a good thing, I feel like we also learned a lot. There are so many small details that you wouldn't think of, where in the event of an emergency, it would be drastically different on a boat than it would on shore.